Men's here, playing on a test server, playing the new Tier 7 German light tank, the Aufklarerpanzer Panther. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this thing. As you can see, it looks very weird. With the stock turret, it looks even more hilarious, but basically you have a gigantic hull, similar to the Panther, and you have this little turret strapped onto it, and a little antenna sticking out of the back. The gun on this, top gun, does about 165 damage, I believe, and the penetration's actually pretty good, and gold rounds have over 200 millimeters of pen, which is pretty good for a Tier 7 light tank. Accuracy on moves, pretty damn good. Reload, low. Aim time's only 2 seconds. And this thing is very mobile for being such a odd tank with the large hull and small turret. On the downside, the gun depression, since your turret's so teeny on this big hull, is pretty low, especially from the front. Sides, it doesn't really get any better, and for the gun elevation, you make up a bit for that. It's pretty decent. You don't get any HE rounds, however, in this tank. You're basically stuck with the AP, which should be good up to dealing with Tier 8 tanks. If you run into Tier 9 tanks, you're going to need a bit more APCR, since the AP rounds do start losing a bit of capability to damage the heavily armored Tier 8s or Tier 9s. Sure if I think he sees me.
We nailed it bad. They're hit. Enemy armor is hit.
Accuracy on this, as you see, is pretty good. It's .34, I believe, with the top gun, which is pretty decent. I'm gonna do a little bit of spotting. Oh, never mind, he's coming up. That lack of gun depression you really start to notice on hilly terrain like this. If you play a lot of American or British tanks, you're definitely going to notice the gun depression difference in this. Armor-wise, you definitely don't have much armor, so it'll be decent against Tier 6 and under tanks, but anything above that, you won't stop at all. I'm just gonna pull back out of spotting range since I have such low HP now. It's always better to be alive later on in the match with low HP than die stupidly and then you get like a little bit more damage off.
Enemy is hit.
Similar to the other new German tanks, this is gonna be a medium range tank, since you don't really have much armor and you have that pretty good gun with decent accuracy, so you're able to stay alive at long range. It's not as much of a scout as other light tanks, since you have this gigantic hull. You can do a bit of spotting, but overall you're not going to want to be zipping around in front of other tanks very often, since you have this large profile, and you're gonna die pretty easily without any armor being this big.
We nailed it bad.
I'm gonna get down here. I need to, because I don't want to be stuck up on that hill anymore. I'm gonna take a little bit
Our
of
track is
a
hit.
risk.
It could break any minute.
As you can see here, I'm using the gold consumables, which are now available for 20,000 credits apiece. Hoping I can. I don't think I can get up here. I should have went the other way. Well, I haven't been down here for a while. I thought there were still people on the downslope of that hill, which I guess there wasn't. Although, as you see here in this bad terrain, it's not very mobile at all, which is a little bit surprising since it's a light tank. Basically, it really is gonna suck going through soft terrain. If I just got up on this good terrain, and the acceleration and mobility definitely increased by at least double or 3 times. I'm not really a fan of German tanks, but this tank is surprisingly very fun to play in my opinion. It does have the downsides of being a bit large and the lack of gun depression, but the gun and mobility
Looks like
definitely
that
make
one
up
went
for
right
it.
through. Ricochet. That's gotta hurt. Looks like that one went right through.
I really don't trust myself shooting at long ranges with this ping. I'm used to around 70 milliseconds. We all have low HP and that 30's at 100%.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
So, how to approach a near 100% 30 with a gigantic light tank? I'm gonna have to hope he's still that way and not looking this way at all. Okay, so he knows I am this way, so I'm just gonna back up, run away, and hopefully reposition. I definitely can't stay and fight him. Really wish I didn't hit that tree there.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
Let's see if I can back up without him shooting me. I'm gonna try to go through him from behind. Uh-oh, I think he saw me there. Glad I won that one. That was pretty close, but as you see here, this tank has a pretty good gun and it's mobile. Its main downside is no armor, which you expect that from a light tank, and also a lack of gun depression. As you can see here, they did make it so it filters by top experience at the end, which is pretty nice. And also they added the damage in. Did 2400 and I missed a few shots, but oh well. I did lose a bit of money since I shot quite a bit of APCR. As you can see here though, the armor isn't very good at all, but it'll stop some rounds from low tier tanks, but nothing that you should rely on. Then gun stats has 12 rate of fire, decent damage for a light tank, and also the penetration is pretty damn good too. And I already went over to accuracy and aim time, which is very good as well. And then price wise, shells, they're not too expensive, and the premium rounds are pretty low, and which is pretty nice since they don't do a ton of damage, since they did change that on the Konish, but they don't cost too much. Other tanks may have 4,000 credit premium rounds, but 2,000's pretty damn good. Either way, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also check out my website, wotguru.com.